Hello, everybody. This is new for me and a little uncomfortable, but it's important. And I wanted to make a video and a recording, fill you in on a couple things. One, I'm going to switch up the format of the Be More Kansas City podcast. It's going to be a little different. I do intend to still talk to everybody around Kansas City Metro and get their takes on anything happening in the city and the surrounding area. As well, nobody that's on my podcast shares the opinions of I. I am my own person. I have my own opinions, and I'm willing to set those aside for whoever may come onto the podcast, or we may join in solidarity. So I just wanted to preface that before I really start talking that everybody that's on my show is their own person. Their opinions are not mine. We do not share opinions, so do not hold them accountable for whatever reason you may want to for being on my podcast. Do not correlate the two because it's not true. It may be, just depends on the conversation, but it's not inherently. So we're going to just get on and make a very impromptu episode recording because me and my girlfriend just got back from the protest that was going on in response to the Roe V Wade overturning. And as I'm sitting here watching these speakers, because it's been a while since I've dropped an episode, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm losing time. I'm getting a lot of knowledge and a lot of information, but I'm not using what I'm learning. And that was my downfall back. Why I even begun doing all this stuff in the first place 10 years ago. It's happening again. I realized I'm learning so much stuff, and I maybe even be speaking on it through Snapchat, but I don't. It feels like not enough. And I felt invigorated. I felt rejuvenated being in the mix with people that are trying to do what I would like to do, that are doing what I would like to do. That's why I just needed to come home and start again. So this Roe v. Wade I'm not going to, my opinion isn't worth much. It's just an opinion in the mix of opinions. But I still want to share my opinion. And when it comes to abortion, with the Roe v. Wade overturning, who am I to say? I think it's fucked up. I think it's wrong. Totally. I'm not in a position, I'm not a woman. So it's a woman's choice. It's just not my choice. So my really opinion on abortion itself is kind of moot to me. I think it's wrong, and I'll leave it at that. The thing I want to really expound upon is with the slippery slope that we're on, that I think we're on. And I think the writing is on the wall. I think it's been on the wall for a while, and if you shine a flashlight on it, you can see it clear as day. And it's the stripping of rights from minority groups that is happening before our eyes. It's scary because how have we gotten here? I ask myself, how have we gotten here? And it's to me, it's from a lack of involvement. And it feels like in this society that we live in, it feels like it's intentional to cram your life with a lot of work hours and to surround your life around work. And then when you're not at work, it seems intentional to market small, gratifying objects, consuming alcohol, just passing the time, passing the day so that you can go on to your next day and get right back at it. And I think by doing that, it's exhausting to try and keep up with the world. It's exhausting to care about anything else beyond yourself in this society that we live in currently in the United States. And I think it's been functioned that way on purpose, not only for greed and profit, but for control. And this is what Roe v. Wade ultimately is control over you. If you're a woman, they're trying to control you. That's the most that's as authoritarian as it can possibly get, is when a government can come in and tell you that you can't do something with your own body. That's disgusting. That's, to me. So where this is going in my eyes is a stripping of rights for people of color, for LGBTQ plus community members, for the poor, the homeless. This is where I see it going. And how I imagine it, I'm not saying that this is a fact either, but this is how I see it in my head. It's a bunch of old dudes in this like little social club with a bunch of cigars laughing at people that want basic needs that are granted around the world, like Germany, like Finland, like Norway. These are places that are doing the things that we're asking for, and we're getting laughed at, and it's disheartening. It pisses me off, and it feels dismissive, because it is dismissive ultimately. It's like, I imagine these people are sitting there saying, these people are too stupid to know what they want, and these people are too stupid to understand things like economics. So, and that's enough for us. We're going to discredit them. Even if these people may have valid points, they get, the propaganda machine works so well that because you are of a social status and because you are of a minority group, preconceived notions about you result in a discrediting of yourself, your opinions, your knowledge. It's like, it's not right, and it's done intentionally, I believe, ultimately to get power, control, because corporations own the government, our government as it stands today. Now, that's not to say that there are people that are not fighting to change that have a good heart and aren't concerned about profit. But right now, it's an uphill battle. And, one thing I want to extend before I stop this video, because I don't want to take too long with this. I'm really going off the cuff right here. In this society that we live in that is based around capital, there's one motive in a society that bases its value around capital, and that's profit. The more profit you have, the more value you inherently have in a capitalist society. This is dangerous because it results in people without capital being dehumanized. Dehumanization is what is the beginning of human atrocities. It's the beginning of just numerous amounts of human rights violations that have happened in the past that you can look up. How does it start? It starts by you not addressing your fellow person, your fellow society member, as a human. And that's exactly what the capitalist mindset does to the mind of the capitalist, in my opinion, I think. And I'm going to continue learning, but that's where I stand now. That's where I've stood for quite some time now. The more I learn, the more I become in this mindset. What happens to somebody who is dehumanized, you can strip their rights away. And if you're good at convincing, if you're a good marketer, you can market that idea to folks that may be on the receiving end of your oppression, of these guys' oppression, but it doesn't matter because they're convincing you, they're marketing to you, they're brainwashing you to fight for them. And before you know it, you have walked yourself into a steel trap, into a bear trap. This is how I see things going. This is not how it is necessarily. I mean, today is a huge day. The overturning of Roe V Wade is that. It is that. But I think there is room to fight. I think there is room to voice our opinions and to come together, to unionize, to become one group that has power. And we express that power by going to the ballot box and voting these good people in, and kicking these people that only are concerned about their pocketbooks. Kick them out. It's completely fine. They lose their job, and that's okay. I don't care, because it's self-explanatory. It's authoritarian. We're a free nation, right? This is where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the idea of we're a free nation. And what's happening is so completely dangerous and sets a precedent for other minority groups to get rights stripped from them just as well. So that's it. I like to look for the why in things. The what is important, but the why is the most important to me. And this is why just asking that question, why, this is where it's gotten me. It's a bunch of people, not even a bunch of people, it's a small amount of people with a fuck ton of money that want to control that. And it's really that simple. They don't want you in their little group because they don't think you're smart enough. They don't think you're worthy enough to join them. They're fleecing everybody that doesn't have a fucking dollar that can stand up to their dollar. If you're dehumanized, you can rationalize a bunch of evil. You can rationalize evil laws. You can rationalize control over another human being if you don't see them as a human being. So it's dangerous, and that's it. Thanks for listening. I hope to do more things like this. I am going to. It's not even a hope. I'm just going to. And I definitely want to talk to more guests, but that may be put on hold for a second as I figure out a studio situation. Not for nothing. Thank you for listening. I hope you continue to listen. I'm going to keep putting out good stuff. And the most important piece of all this is get involved and go vote. If you're sick of what's happening right beneath our feet, the way to change it is to become involved. Find your talent, find your specialty, find the thing that you care about, and advocate for it. Network with people that are doing that same thing and build something from the ground up. And that's how change happens. Thanks. Bye.